Have you ever dreamed of exploring a country where ancient ruins, golden beaches, and desert oases all exist in one place? That's exactly what Tunisia offers. But with so many unforgettable places, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. In this video, I'll take you through the most stunning spots in Tunisia and help you plan a journey you'll never forget. Mahdia. Have you ever wanted to find a Mediterranean beach town that hasn't been taken over by crowds and resorts? Mahdia is just that: clear waters, soft sands, and barely any tourists. It's the kind of place where you can actually hear the waves and have the beach mostly to yourself. The town sits on a narrow peninsula with the sea on three sides. That means wherever you turn, you're wrapped in that endless blue. Can you imagine waking up to that view every morning? But it's not just pretty. Mahdia has serious history. Did you know it was once the capital of the Fatimid Caliphate before they moved to Egypt? That's how powerful this place was. Local legend says Mahdia was founded by shipwrecked sailors who built their home right where they landed. And honestly, you'll understand why. It's got that never leave kind of vibe. Because of its location, Mahdia was a prize worth fighting for. Over the centuries, it was attacked by the Normans, the Spanish, and the Ottomans, all trying to control this slice of coastline. As you explore the town, make sure to walk through the Skifa El Kala. It's a massive black stone gate that once served as the only way in. Standing under it feels like stepping back into a different century. Near the water, you'll find the old port, carved directly into the rocks by the Fatimids, which is wild when you think about how long it's been standing there. And Mahdia hasn't lost its roots. Traditional fishing is still part of daily life. In the early morning, you'll see colorful wooden boats bobbing in the harbor like a living painting. Chott El Djerid. Are you ready to see one of the strangest places in Tunisia? Chott El Djerid is so surreal, it feels like you've left Earth behind. This isn't just the biggest salt lake in North Africa. It's 7,000 square kilometers of pure otherworldly drama. You'll find it between the desert towns of Tozeur and Kabylie, in a region so hot and dry, summer temperatures can soar past 50 degrees Celsius. That's not a typo. It's one of the hottest spots in Tunisia. Most of the time, the lake looks like it's been bleached by the sun, wide open and crusted with blinding white salt. Some people say it looks like the surface of Mars. What do you think? But then, after rare rainfalls, something amazing happens. The lake turns into a mirror. The shallow water reflects the sky so perfectly, it's hard to tell where land ends and sky begins. Would you walk across something like that, or just stand and stare? Even though it looks dry, there's actually water underground. It helps feed nearby oases, complete with date palms growing in the middle of this salty wilderness. And here's the wild part. Some spots look solid, but the lake bed is soft enough to swallow cars. So yeah, maybe don't go off-road here without a guide. If this place feels strangely familiar, there's a reason. Part of Star Wars, A New Hope was filmed here. This was the stand-in for the planet Tatooine, where Luke Skywalker grew up. Locals call it Chott El Djerid, which means Lagoon of the Palm Leaf. And they say it's haunted, or maybe enchanted, with tales of travelers chasing shimmering illusions and never returning. Jerba Island. What if I told you there's an island where history, myth, and beach life all live side by side? Let me show you Djerba, Tunisia's island of dreams. Djerba is the largest island off the North African coast, known for its white sand beaches, palm-fringed shoreline, and calm, warm waters. The island is connected to the mainland by a causeway built by the Romans, and crossing it feels like more than just a road trip. It feels like entering another rhythm entirely. They call it the Island of Dreams, and once you're here, you'll get it. Life moves slower, the light is softer, and cultures blend together in a way that feels effortless. Isn't that the kind of escape we all need sometimes? According to ancient legend, this was the island of the Lotus Eaters in Homer's Odyssey, the place where travelers forgot who they were and never wanted to leave. Can you imagine arriving somewhere so peaceful you just stay? But Djerba hasn't always been gentle. It was once a haven for pirates, and their legacy still lingers in the old fortresses and watchtowers scattered along the coast. Arab, Berber, and Jewish communities have lived here side by side for centuries, and you can feel that harmony in the architecture, the food, and even the street conversations. How often do you find that kind of coexistence in one tiny island? Even the homes here are unique. Many are traditional menzils, low, whitewashed houses with inner courtyards that stay cool even in the summer heat. Smart, simple, beautiful. And if you wander into the Medina in Humpt Souk, be ready for a sensory hit. Colorful textiles, spice stalls, handmade pottery, and vendors who've probably worked those same stalls for generations. Douga. You've probably heard of Roman ruins in Italy, but have you seen the ones hiding in Tunisia's countryside? Let me show you Douga, a place frozen in time. Douga is often called the best preserved Roman town in North Africa, and once you step inside, you'll see why. Have you ever walked through a city where time stopped 1,800 years ago? This isn't just crumbling walls, it's streets, villas, temples, even Roman plumbing systems, still right where they've always been. The whole site stretches across 65 hectares. That's massive. You'll find quiet alleys that once bustled with markets, open courtyards, and carved mosaics still resting in the floors where people once lived. Can you picture life happening here? Laughter, trade, voices echoing between the stones? And then there's the capital, Douga's crown jewel. This towering temple, built in the 2nd century, was dedicated to Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. Stand in front of it, and you'll feel the scale of Roman ambition. Nearby, the Roman theater once held 3,500 spectators, and believe it or not, it still hosts performances today. How often do you get to sit where ancient crowds once cheered, and watch modern stories come to life in a 2,000-year-old setting? But Douga isn't just Roman. Before the empire rolled in, it was a Berber city called Thuga. And traces of that original culture still live in the stones. Look closer, and you'll notice a fascinating blend of Berber, Punic, and Roman influences, not just in the architecture, but even in the inscriptions. And then there's the view. Douga sits high on a hilltop, overlooking endless olive groves and rolling green hills. No fences, no over-tourism, just open sky and ancient ruins. Oasis of Chibika. Have you ever seen a real-life oasis? Not just in movies, but tucked into the edge of the Sahara, glowing like a mirage? Let me take you to Chibika. Chibika is a mountain oasis located at the foot of the Jebel el Negueb, right where rocky desert meets golden light. It's often called the Sun Oasis, and once you see it, you'll understand why. The sun seems to love this place, pouring light over every surface, especially at sunset. Ever watched cliffs and palm trees turn gold in the middle of the desert? The setting is almost unreal. Towering cliffs, rugged rock formations, and a splash of deep green palm trees. Cutting through it all is a cold, clear mountain spring that carves its way through a narrow canyon, feeding waterfalls and date palms. The water creates a cool microclimate, and suddenly you're not just in the desert anymore. You're in a hidden paradise, shaded, breezy, alive. There's a short trail through the canyon, perfect for a light hike, and at the end, a small waterfall and a palm-covered pool, nature's own desert spa. Would you dip your feet in and stay a while? Most people do. But Chibika isn't just about beauty. Long ago, this oasis was a Roman outpost, and later a home for Berber communities. You can still feel that timeless energy, layered into the cliffs. This is the kind of place that doesn't need filters or narration. Just show up, and let the oasis do the talking. Monastir. What if your beach getaway came with a medieval fortress and a revolutionary past? Let's head to Monastir, a coastal gem where history and chill vibes go hand in hand. Monastir sits right on the Mediterranean coast, with crystal clear water, white sand beaches, and that slow, breezy energy that makes you want to drop your bags and stay a while. Can you picture yourself walking a palm-lined promenade as the sun sets over the sea? This town isn't trying too hard, and that's what makes it special. You'll find cafes overlooking the water, colorful boats bobbing in the marina, and a relaxed rhythm that just pulls you in. Ever dreamed of a place where you can swim in the morning and explore a fortress by sunset? Because here's the twist. Right in the middle of all this calm is one of the most impressive Islamic fortresses in North Africa, the Raibat of Monastir. Originally built in the 8th century, this fortress is a maze of stone towers, tight staircases, and panoramic rooftops. And yes, it's been used as a filming location for Monty Python's Life of Brian and the Message. Think about that. You're walking through a movie set that's over 1,200 years old. Climb to the top and you'll get 360-degree views. The sea on one side, the old city on the other. How often do you get a view like that with no crowds and no filters needed? But Monastir isn't just about old stones. It's the birthplace of Habib Bourguiba, Tunisia's first president and the man who led the country to independence. Want to connect with modern history? You can visit his mausoleum. It's hard to miss with its twin minarets, golden dome, and a sense of reverence that still fills the air. Atlas Mountains. You might think of deserts when you think of Tunisia, but wait until you see the mountains. The Atlas Range offers a completely different world, and most travelers miss it. These mountains stretch all the way through Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco, but in Tunisia, they're quieter, wilder, and way less touristy. Ever dreamt of having a whole mountain view to yourself? This might be your chance. They're split into two main ranges, the Tell Atlas in the north and the Saharan Atlas farther south. Together they form a landscape of forests, rivers, rocky gorges, and deep valleys, the kind of place that shifts with the seasons. In spring, the hills turn lush and green. In winter, snow sometimes dusts the higher peaks. Yes, it snows in Tunisia. Who knew? Locals call it Tunisia's green heart. And when you're standing in the middle of it, surrounded by trees, with the desert far behind you, it's easy to see why. Can you imagine driving through this landscape, windows down, the air crisp and cool? Tucked into these mountains are Berber villages where life still runs on tradition. Think stone homes, terraced farms, and markets that haven't changed in generations. You'll pass women in colorful dresses carrying firewood, children playing in the fields, and old men sipping tea under olive trees. But there's more here than village life. You'll stumble upon hidden hilltop towns, abandoned Roman ruins, and centuries-old olive groves nestled in the folds of the valleys. Tunis. Some cities whisper their history. Tunis shouts it, then hands you a coffee and keeps moving. Welcome to Tunisia's capital, a place where ancient medinas and French boulevards exist side by side. Tunis is the country's largest city, and it somehow manages to feel both old and young at the same time. The city is split between two worlds: the old Medina, a labyrinth of alleys, mosques, and hidden courtyards, and the Ville Nouvelle, a European-style district with wide boulevards, cafes, and colonial architecture. Ever bought spices in a 1,000-year-old souk and then grabbed a cappuccino 10 minutes later? That's Tunis in a nutshell. The Medina of Tunis is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's packed with treasures behind plain-looking doors: palaces, prayer halls, artisan workshops, and quiet inner courtyards. At the center of it all is the Zitouna Mosque, dating back to the 8th century. Can you imagine the footsteps, the prayers, the stories this place has absorbed over 1,200 years? And when you're ready to shift gears, head into the modern side of the city. Locals gather on Avenue Habib Bourguiba, often called the Tunisian Champs-Élysées. It's where you'll find coffee shops, bookstores, protests, live music, and late-night strolls, often all at once. Want to see a country's past and future in one walk? Start here. And you can't miss the Bardo Museum. Housed in a former palace, it's home to one of the greatest collections of Roman mosaics in the world. Each piece tells a story, but together they remind you just how layered Tunisia's history really is. Tatooine. Have you ever wondered what it's like to step into another planet? Welcome to Tatooine, the real-world inspiration for one of sci-fi's most iconic landscapes. Tatooine is tucked deep in southern Tunisia, surrounded by desert hills, rocky plateaus, and vast reddish terrain that feels straight out of a movie. And in a way, it is. This otherworldly region helped inspire the name Tatooine, Luke Skywalker's home planet in Star Wars. Look around and you'll get it. The crumbling cliffs, endless skies, and haunting silence feel more like a galaxy far, far away than a place on Earth. But there's more to Tatooine than movie magic. The region is home to ancient Ksawar, fortified Berber granaries made of earth and stone, some perched right into the cliffs. Ever seen buildings that look like beehives made of sand, stacked into a mountainside? That's what you'll find here. And Qasr Ouled Sultan is one of the most incredible examples. It's not just beautiful, it's practical. These granaries were designed to protect food and valuables from raiders, heat, and time itself. Despite being in the desert, Tatooine surprises you. The heat can be intense by day, but nights often turn chilly. And when rare rainfall hits, the dry earth comes to life, turning harshness into something strangely peaceful. Djem. Picture a Roman Colosseum so massive, it once held 35,000 people, and now it towers over a sleepy Tunisian town. Welcome to Djem, where history doesn't fade. It stands tall. This place is famous for its massive Roman amphitheater, the third largest in the world, after Rome's Colosseum and Capua. It once held up to 35,000 spectators. That's more than some football stadiums today. Can you imagine the energy and the roar of the crowd? Built in the 3rd century AD, this was the heart of public life, where people gathered for fights, shows, and festivals. But here's the wild part. It's still standing, still huge, still open, and yes, still walkable. Djem is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's one of the best preserved Roman arenas anywhere. You'll see massive stone arches, tiered seating, and underground chambers where gladiators and animals were held before battle. Ever wanted to explore behind the scenes of ancient Rome? No ropes, no guards, no crowds. This is your chance. Unlike most Roman sites, you're free to roam. Climb the steps, peer over the arena wall, or stand right at the center. What would it feel like to look up at 35,000 faces cheering or jeering, and you're the one in the ring? And then there's the contrast. This enormous stone colossus rises over the small modern town of Djem, where life moves slowly. Shops open, kids ride bikes, and just around the corner, a piece of the Roman Empire towers over it all. Where else can you sip mint tea in the shadow of a 1,800-year-old amphitheater? Only here. Zaghawan Mountains. Ready for a mountain escape with Roman ruins, wildflowers, and views that stretch to the sea? Let's head to the Zaghawan Mountains, one of Tunisia's most underrated gems. Located in the north and part of the Tel Atlas Range, the Zaghawan Mountains are all about rugged peaks, limestone cliffs, and sweeping views over rolling farmland. The tallest point is Jebel Zaghawan, rising over 1,290 meters. Have you ever hiked to a summit and seen the Mediterranean shimmering in the distance? From here, you can. In spring, the landscape comes alive. Green trails, blooming wildflowers, and crisp mountain air make it perfect for hiking, climbing, or just getting wonderfully lost in nature. But there's more to these mountains than scenic beauty. They also hide one of the most impressive engineering feats of the ancient world. At the base of the mountain, you'll find the Temple of Water, built by the Romans at a natural spring to honor Neptune, god of fresh water. Here's where it gets wild. This temple marked the start of a 132-kilometer aqueduct, one of the longest in the Roman Empire, that carried water all the way to ancient Carthage. Can you imagine the planning and precision it took to move mountain water across that distance, through hills, valleys, and cities? And then, there's the town of Zaghawan itself, quiet, unhurried, and full of character. It's known for traditional pottery, winding streets, and mountain hospitality that hasn't changed in generations. This is one of those places where you can start the day in a Roman ruin, climb a peak by noon, and be sipping tea in a pottery-lined village by sunset. Sousse. Want to explore a city where pirates once lurked, monks stood guard, and ancient streets still buzz with life? Let's dive into Sousse, the pearl of the Sahel. Sousse's Medina is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. It's a winding maze of alleyways, whitewashed homes, hidden courtyards, and centuries-old souks. Ever wandered through a street so narrow and quiet, it feels like the past is just around the corner? This city has serious roots. Once a Phoenician trading hub, later a Roman port, and still and old city walls. Ever seen a sunset from a fortress where monks once watched the horizon for pirate ships? And while Sousse is rich in history, it's far from frozen in time. The marina buzzes with life, the beaches shimmer, and the Medina is packed with locals buying spices, fresh bread, and maybe bargaining for a new rug. Zarzis. Need a break from the crowds? Let's slow things down. Welcome to Zarzis, a quiet coastal town where time feels optional. Located near the Libyan border, Zarzis is known for its warm waters, soft beaches, and endless palm groves that sway with the sea breeze. The sun shines year-round, and the vibe is simple. Breathe, rest, repeat. Some travelers come through on their way to somewhere else, and then just stay. Ever found a place so peaceful you changed your plans? Zarzis does that to people. It's far less touristy than nearby Djerba. Here, you'll find fishermen mending nets, olive farmers loading carts, and locals chatting in open-air markets, not tour buses or beach clubs. Want to see Tunisia without the filter? This is your chance. The town itself is a blend of modern and traditional architecture, whitewashed walls, rounded domes, and sunlit courtyards where life moves at its own pace. Zarzis's beaches are made for long walks, quiet swims, or just lying in the sun doing absolutely nothing. And if you're up for a little adventure, the area offers horseback rides, desert drives, and even thalassotherapy spas for a salty soak under open skies. The local economy runs on olive oil, fishing, and trade, but what Zarzis really offers is something harder to define, a sense of ease you didn't know you were missing. And sometimes, that's the best kind of destination. Tunisia is vibrant, historic, and full of unexpected beauty. But there are so many other incredible places I've explored on this channel, so don't miss the next video to keep discovering our amazing world. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next adventure.